I'm gonna give it to you straight. The vast majority of people, including your own family, are going to expect you to behave like you do not have bipolar disorder, like you are stable all the time. This is what we can do about it. I'm Jess with Our Bipolar. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, just a little bit about me. I have bipolar 1 and I was diagnosed 27 years ago when I was a sophomore in college. Today, I saw a question on a bipolar support group on Facebook, and I just had to jump on and do a video about it. So here's the question. It says, my family is driving me crazy. When you have a mental illness, why does your family expect you to behave like you haven't got one? Well, could be a lot of reasons for this. In my experience, people do what is easy, what is easiest for them, not what's easiest for you. What's easiest for them is for them to assume you are doing just fine with bipolar. We don't have to talk about it. It's just somewhere lurking in the background. And you need to handle that on your own. And you need to show up and you need to be presentable and you need to be acting in a way that is appropriate for whatever the situation is. Maybe it's a holiday, maybe it's a birthday party, maybe you're just seeing your family any old time. I have some problems with this, of course. And this question brought up a lot of feelings in me toward the family she's speaking of, but also toward the person asking the question. Now, this is probably wrong of me, but in having lived with bipolar disorder for so long, I expect people to expect me to be acting like I don't have a mental illness. That is just a given for me. And I don't get upset about it. But I do think the person asking this question does have a right to be upset about it. We should, from people who, especially from people who really are supposed to care about us, they should be willing to do the work, to educate themselves, to talk to us, see what we need, see how we're doing, and really be there for us. And I do expect that from certain people. My husband, Brian, 100%. He needs to be on board with me and not expect me to just go around acting like I'm neurotypical. I also expect this from other people who are close to me. So close friends, like my friend Keith, we talk about how I'm doing all the time with bipolar in my life in general, right? Like nothing is off limits. And also from other family members who I am close with, like extremely close with, like have a friendship with, my cousin Alana, other people in my family, my brother Rob, my parents. Those people I expect more from. I expect them to understand what I'm going through and at times give me allowances for what I'm going through, right? Like that's only natural. We're not all starting at the same starting line. If you have bipolar disorder, you may need certain accommodations even with a family member or with a friend. Like my cousin Alana, we just had a conversation where I wasn't coming to her when I was in depression. And she thought that meant that we weren't as close as she thought we were. And I had to explain to her, Alana, I'm not going to anyone when I'm feeling that depressed. I have extremely low energy. I am not calling other people and venting to them or leaning on them. I'm usually barely getting through work each day, and that's it. And I'm just spent. At that point, she really understood, and she didn't feel slighted in any way. And she understood that, we do have this deep friendship. So that's one thing I would recommend to this person asking the question. If there are certain family members you can go to on a deeper level, I would recommend speaking to them one-on-one. And, you could even provide maybe some websites or a book. I really love Loving Someone with Bipolar by Julie Fast. Going to them and saying, I really really would appreciate your support with my bipolar disorder, and I'm not always okay. Sometimes I am in episodes, and then you can show them some information. You could also talk to them about how your illness presents, you know, saying like, well, maybe certain times of year you go into mania or depression more often. You could explain that. You could say, like, these are the symptoms that are most obvious. This is how I feel in those situations when I'm having an episode and I'm not feeling supported. And that person may or may not want to do that, right? And that's sort of how it goes sometimes. I mean, when you have bipolar disorder, you are not going to be just welcome with open arms all the time. And it's really unfortunate, and it is not your fault. It is not my fault. We were born with this disorder. We did not choose to have it. Even though we didn't choose to have it, it's still our responsibility. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to take meds every day. We have to do all the things to try to stay healthy. And then when we aren't healthy, by the way, when we're not healthy, we're just having symptoms of the disorder. This is what the disorder is. So we shouldn't be punished for that. This is what happens when you have bipolar some of the time. It's just unfortunate that we feel like because our illness is a brain illness and it's not like having diabetes, even if you were having seizures, like if you had epilepsy, because our illness affects how we behave, our actions, we may be doing things that are so far outside of our normal behavior. And because of that, we're kind of punished for it. And it's really messed up, but it's also, I mean, I hate to say this, but it's understandable for people who don't understand the illness. And we do have to live in the world in which we are in. And that world does include people, even family members, who don't understand bipolar, who don't really want to understand bipolar, possibly, and who are going to treat us unfairly and with stigma. What I don't want you to do, and what I try not to do, is when I am treated badly because of my illness, because of something I cannot fully control, I don't want to start self stigmatizing and feeling badly about myself and putting that upon myself. So that's what we have to fight against. And I know it's not easy, and I don't always win that fight. But that's why I do things like YouTube and I talk to friends who have bipolar on Instagram and Facebook because it really helps to have a community of people who get it. Like they get it to the point where nothing has to be explained. They get it. They know what you're going through. You can tell them, like, I feel like I'm getting manic, and they know exactly what that is. And they usually know how to support you too. Lean on those people as much as you can. Also, like, educate the people who are important to you. And of course, you're going to have to try to do it in a kind way. And if there have been experiences in the past where you may have burned bridges in terms of relationships, yeah, you can try to build those back up. May not happen, but you never know. It might. I have definitely had that experience where I have thought I burned a bridge forever with a friend, my friend Sam, and then when I was feeling better, we talked through it and we're still great friends. And it's been probably 20 years since that happened. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Like this video if you like it. Comment. I would love to hear your experiences with this topic and how your family treats you in terms of your bipolar. All right, well, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.